Hi, my name is Bailey Kennedy, and I am the Title I reading teacher at Meadow Heights Elementary School in Patton, Missouri. This is my second year in this position. I currently am working towards getting my reading specialist while I'm working in this job. Previously, I was the 6th through 8th grade ELA teacher in the middle school. And I did that for 6 years before moving down to our elementary. So when I was in our middle school, we collaborated amongst each other because we had one teacher in each subject, core class through the 6th through 8th grade, because we have pretty small classes. But moving down here into the reading position, I have had to collaborate with all of the grade level teachers much more than I ever did before in my previous position. So this class has been very beneficial in the fact that I get to kind of take ideas and put it into what I'm doing today. And I never really thought about some of the things that were brought up in this class that I could apply to ensure that our students are getting the most opportunities to be successful. For the first fundamentals of collaboration, one big point that I felt that based on Vygotsky was that effective collaboration is more than sharing tasks, but it's more about creating spaces for mutual learning and collective expertise. I also hit on the Bandura's social learning theory. So like this theory is where it's highlighting and modeling observational learning, and it discusses how teams learn from one another's strategies and successes. I do have an opportunity to go to a literacy collaboration group every month, and we get to sit down with these literacy specialists and bounce ideas off of each other and figure out what's working for their kids at different grade levels and what I get to bring back to my teachers here. And we get to have those sit downs and kind of just bounce those ideas off and see what's going to work. One thing that I did notice on the Belbin's team roles, like identifying team positions and what these people are strong in, and having those roles identified helps us be more productive in what we're doing. The May and Dube social psychology of cooperation was another thing where the idea emphasizes that cooperation, not competition, nurtures mutual respect and shared goals. Obviously, most of our goals are all oriented on whether or not we're getting our kiddos to be successful, and not having more of this power trip model of we're competing against each other, because in the end we're having these common goals of getting these kiddos to succeed and work together and things like that. As far as stakeholders and perceptions, the value of diverse expertise and experiences. So professionals such as paras, classroom teachers, administrators, and parents all offer different viewpoints and perspectives. No one knows their kids better than the parents. So being able to take all these viewpoints and develop plans and come together to make sure that these kiddos are getting what they're needed is super crucial. And so I've been able to apply that in my role in the reading world to, okay, what's working at home with these kiddos? What kind of books do they like? What are ideas that the parents can come up with, and collaborating on that side of things so that way they're enjoying reading or trying to enjoy reading to where they can improve. One thing, the DeForest PLC model, I try to plan to use that because like when we're planning and sharing data and looking at all of these different instructional strategies that are working and what's not working, is something that I would like to keep incorporating and continue to build on with my coworkers as we go through that. Being able to utilize a variety of viewpoints and perspective allows me as a teacher to reach students in a variety of ways to ensure that they're getting the best chances at success. And that just kind of is something that I felt like throughout this whole course, that no matter what we're doing, we need to collaborate, we need to work together to make sure that these kids have the best opportunities. Interpersonal behavior. So like with this module, I evaluated my own communication skills and realized that I could do much better on being an active listener. I tend to like take charge and get on stuff and different things, but I felt like I needed to take a step back in my role sometimes and listen better and see exactly what other people think that's needed, and taking other people's viewpoints into consideration. One thing is, there are situations that things get escalated, and I did and learned a little bit more about the 3 stages of de-escalation. So recognizing when a situation's about to escalate, respond thoughtfully, and then find a resolution and resolve it. If we can't find if we can't find resolve in situations, then that no one's going to be successful there. So I hate conflict. Being able to navigate those potential conflicts is an area that I'd like to grow in, to build rapport with people. Collaboration with families and cultural influences. Parents are the experts on their kids. And watching that parent panel and finding those things that like open my eyes, like the parents know the best. They know their kid, what's going to work, and being able to collaborate with them. I'd like to really take that into more of account when we're developing our plans and developing our goals for our reading students. One thing also that I felt like you have to use the common language of parents. So like if you have people that aren't privy to our acronyms and all the things in education, being able to incorporate in their language, common language, and even if there's cultural differences, being able to take some of the multilingual ways to present that information to them, so that way their understanding as well is super important. Managing team conflict. Again, I hate conflict. So conflict can be productive if it's dealt with ethically and constructively. We have to keep emotions out of it a lot of time, which is the hardest part, and that's where I struggle with. So I'd like to kind of build on those skills if there is conflict, being able to handle it in a productive way to where we can move on and continue to service our kids. Resource dissemination. So teacher leadership drives effective resource dissemination. So for example, the value of teacher leadership video emphasizes that effective teacher leaders don't just use resources, they share and adapt them for others. There is not a one size fits all, and that's one thing that I'm learning, that I have to adapt and make things happen a little bit better for all students. Co-teaching and consultation. So co-teaching requires organization and a mutual respect with those you're working with. If you don't respect the people that you're working with, then there's going to be some struggles. And that's one of those things that I do think that we do a good job at my school, is respecting one another, taking into consideration others' ideas, and being able to collaborate effectively for our kiddos. So, like, in conclusion, this course allowed me to look at collaboration with a new vision. I love working with others, but I was not aware of so many resources out there to maximize collaboration and make it the most effective for our students. Moving into the title reading position last year really put more of an emphasis on working in teams to help students. This course has allowed me to set goals for myself to be a better collaborator, and I'd really like to work on building those relationships, resolving potential conflicts, and focusing on the strengths of our team members. Collaboration can open many doors for new ideas and learning for all. It's been a great class.